and Lulu pulls out Moonwalk. How dare you pull out Moonwalk?
I'm saying, dog.
How dare you pull that shit out? You can never use that shit ever again. But Jinbei says, so that means you hold a grudge against Luffy, and Luz says, my real issue is with the one who stole the Goma Goma no Mi fruit, which is red.
This nigga has the biggest and longest pipe dream known to man. If he even thinks he can attempt to try to dream to hang with Shanks. I move on to One Piece. DC, you take the reins for that.
All right,
let me disclaimer. So 117 is going to be this. By the time you viewers are listening to this, 118 will be officially. Can I pull this shit up? Damn. 118 will be officially out. I'm not gonna upload this probably until like Monday or Tuesday. So we are gonna be using the
unofficial translation,
alleged version for 118, but I'm going to be posting up the actual official translation. So if you notice any inconsistencies as far as like what we're talking about in wordings and techniques and stuff like that, that is the reason why. Viz Media, please don't pull up on us. We're using the official translations when the full video releases. All right, DC, you can start.
You apologize.
All right, this is the Pooh Shicey chapter because it's 10:17.
Oh yeah.
We start off the chapter in the live floor, and you see Queen looking up at Tom like, what the fuck is that kid doing up there? And he's basically upset because Bao Huang is supposed to be in charge of the intercom stuff and she's knocked out. So he scares Tama and she foams at the mouth.
Goat.
Passes out.
I'm sorry, but it's the goat, G. It's the goat.
Hey, Queen. There's a lot of people downplaying Queen, but you gotta admit this man is versatile and funny as fuck. His whole art, like,
yeah,
you can't deny it.
Knows his role.
But I was talking about Tom Goat.
Oh yeah, Tama also carrying super carrying
Goat
squad right now. When we cut over to
one thing. Speaking of King and Queen, I'm gonna plug this in. Shout out to One Piece Treasure Cruise. Even though I fucking hate that game, they just released the King and Queen Legend unit.
I gotta see that card art after.
Card art is pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Oh, you know, I'll save the King and Queen stuff for later. But bounties have been a talk.
Ooh.
They released Marco's bounty, Izo's bounty, and a couple other people, the Revolutionary Army people.
Oh, for the the stuff that Oda does.
No, it was the Vivre cards. There's another pack of Vivre cards that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
It's like a data book, but it's in card form. Marco has a lower bounty than Luffy, but we all knew that. But it's barely higher than Queen's. It's like 1.37. Queen is 1.32. So hey, y'all niggas downplaying Queen, and he's really close to Whitebeard's right hand.
But you know, since we take bounties as the word of God, that means that Marco is stronger than Queen.
Barely. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
And that means that Luffy is above the Whitebeard pirates.
I think Luffy is like stronger than every right hand right now. Like that's definitive. I think where Luffy's bounty is at is you're about to be Yonko status. So if you're 1.5 and above, you're teetering on that. If you're below 1.5, you're pretty much like high caliber commander level. But Izo has 500, which is weird. It's fucking weird.
I guess
Izo has 50 million berries lower than Ace. Like, yeah, it's like I didn't think Izo was that strong, but hey,
we never got a chance to see Izo do anything of worth. I'll take Oda's word for it, though.
Yeah,
I'll take Oda's word.
I guess he's trying to justify how, like, I remember when Izo shot the sword out of King's hand, and niggas was going wild about that. I guess it's justified now.
Sure.
But
you shot a sword.
Yeah, Hey, you know how One Piece niggas, man, we power scale off the most minuscule things.
That nigga breathed wrong.
Panel, let me see the kanji. But
He's all like
we cut to the 4th floor, and it shows who's who.
Nope.
Who's crew.
Lose.
Oh yeah.
Lose.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
who right now, but we'll get to that.
He's who's this chapter, but today the nigga is lose.
All I say is read my name. Lucci would never
go out like how.
Never.
Dog, that was
nigga. Bro, okay. One thing. No, we'll talk about that later. I'll save it for next chapter.
I'm gonna speed through this.
Go for it.
But Jinbei and who's who are fighting, and who's who is saying he's noting that Jinbei's not complaining about his subordinates jumping in, and Jinbei's like, I knew that since we're at war, there's no way we're gonna have a one-on-one fight. Then it cuts to everybody else having a similar problem. Frankie's dealing with ruffians while in the middle of his fight. Same thing with Jack. Bunch of random shit. Tama gets back up. Nami and Usopp cheer her on so she can gain the courage to, give the order to all the gifters.
MVP.
And Tama screams out, please listen up. You gotta change sides and fight for Big Bro Luffy and Momonosuke. And we cut to Luffy getting resuscitated by the Heart Pirates. So Luffy's eye. And then we see Momonosuke. I guess they're still falling, so he's crying about being high up because he's scared of heights.
And that Kinemon sucks.
Oh yeah, he's screaming for Kinemon and Kiku. Them niggas dead.
Just smoke them backwards, my nigga.
They dead, bro. But she's like, you gotta help us beat Kaido. And you see all the headliners that we've seen over the course of the arc turn over. So this completely bolsters the alliance's side. I'm skipping all these this gifter shit.
Yeah, no, I get it. Just know that Tama is like, I made a meme out of it first, but like when we go back and look at this arc, or maybe this particular part of the arc, she's genuinely one of the most valuable people ever currently right now.
Like if she wasn't here, they'd be getting clapped right now. I think they still would pull out, but like more people would die if Tama didn't show up. Like niggas getting folded. We see Queen. He's pissed off that Tama's doing all this. And
I hit it with hyper beam, nigga.
About to hit her with a hyper beam critical attack. But we cut over to our boy. Sanji comes in with the Collier strike, knocks him out of his position, and allowing the beam to blow up in his mouth. Queen says, "Damn it, Judge's son," again. And Sanji's like, "Don't ever say that name to me. Are you part of his insane research team or something?" A lot of people were confused how Sanji knows this, but if you go back to Whole Cake Island, Yonji takes Sanji to this room full of clones, and Yonji explains, yeah, Judge used to work with Vegapunk. So Sanji's just putting 2 to 2 together using his IQ, unlike, the other.
Yeah, because I think they already established that Queen had something to do with Vegapunk. So yeah.
Yeah, Queen has something to do with Vegapunk. He's a cyborg, so it makes sense him, Caesar, and Judge and Vegapunk all work together. So we're getting more Vegapunk lore, which is dope. It's called Mads. And Queen immediately goes into hybrid form because Sanji that nigga. Oh, and we see his full cyborg form. At first I didn't like it, but it eventually grew on me, and now I kind of like it.
I like the little mechanical tail and stuff like that. Like it looks pretty dope.
I think it looks so. I didn't even notice the spines on his back either until like recently. So like, yeah, I think it fits. It fits Queen's. I never expected him to have like a super badass, like skinny design because it's Queen. But yeah, that's his hybrid form. And while Sanji doesn't even pay it no mind, he talks about Chopper. He's like, "Can you manage things over there?" And Chopper he basically had like a Gear 3 Luffy pre time skip.
No, this is a hey Oda, we need more merchandise. We kind of run out of stuff for One Piece, and we need some more merchandise sales. Can you design something for us? I got you. That's what this Chopper form is. Merchandise.
Baby geezer Chopper. But we get to one of the ass pulls of the art where Super asshole.
They just don't. They just can't let Zoro. They. I think Oda knows about them Zoro fans, bro. He can't be out of commission for this long. He got to come back.
There's way better ways of going about it. I'm okay with it. I knew Zoro was gonna come back, but this is just like. But so Zoro's like, there's no time to debate. Just give it to me, and I don't care what happens later. The only thing that matters is that being able to fight right now. So basically, the drug that Chopper's about to administer, which isn't his, it's the Minx. So another moment where Chopper's not really doctoring.
Sucks.
It is what it is. But it's a drug that gives him his stamina back and like fixes him, but it doubles the pain.
I think this is basically I equate this to Ivankov during Marineford when she injected the shot into Luffy and Luffy, he was able to like do it, but then he like still suffered heavy damages because he was bandaged up after the war. So that's why I'm slightly okay with it, because it happened with Luffy during the Marineford arc when he had no business being there and he was still able to do shit. Whereas with Zoro, at least he, character wise, fuck the fan base, but character wise, he's an asset. So like having him pull up, I still think they're gonna ultimately lose, but I think him coming back isn't go. Cause it's like one of those things where he's gonna come back, but I'm expecting him to get an even bigger L, so that's why I'm okay with it. So that can put this in the fan base's face.
He is gonna get clapped again. I'm okay with Zoro. Like, my problem is not Zoro coming back. And if you've been watching, the pod, I've been going through my character development on Zoro's character, and I'm just aiming my animosity towards his fans. But my issue is the fact that there's other. You have Law, Marco, and Chopper.
You have a lot more people that could do some shit.
They have devil fruits that could, make this make more sense than just take a perk.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Rebirth Flame, Laws of Surgeon. Rebirth Flame
plus, yeah. And then Chopper drugs on top. Like, Chopper could like administer like his own drug. Law could physically tack his bones back together, and then Marco hits him with this, and they're like, okay, this is only gonna last for a little bit, and then this is gonna wear off, and you're gonna feel double. Like, there's a better way of doing it, but it is what it is. I'm just being a tryhard right now. But we cut to the fourth floor. This was funny, bro. So who takes his katana, big old katana scabbard, and he pulls out a little ass knife. But this is raw though. This is when he was and he does blade pistol, which is a sword variant of the finger pistol, which is raw as hell. I can't wait to see that animated. Jinbei blocks it with Fishman Karate, Arabesque Brick Fist, and Who's Who uses Soru and Tempest Kick. And Jinbei does some snarky like banter saying, I should call this Iron Body because he used his haki to block it. And he's like, those are the 6 powers. And Lucci basically says that
who's who? Don't call him Lucci.
Oh yeah, my bad. I tweet. Who's Who turns into his hybrid form. His saber-tooth tiger form looks raw. And we basically find out that Who's Who was a former CP9 agent, and he was in prison. And Who's Who basically says the reason why he was in prison was from a single mistake 12 years ago, and that he had the same potential as Rob Lucci.
It's a fucking insult.
That is an insult. They was rivals when they were like 12 years old,
right?
And then Lucci left that nigga. Like, I think Kaku and Jabra are better than this. I bet they're stronger than him now if we ever see them again. But he uses Fang pistol, which is dope.
Yeah.
Where he sends like a shockwave of his bite. Jinbei dodges it, and it takes a big chunk out of the pillar. And then we get a big, information bomb that he says that he was. I'm just paraphrasing. Basically, the fruit that he was in prison for was the Gum Gum fruit. He was supposed to guard it, and it was stolen by Shanks' crew. And so he was surprised when he saw Luffy as a rookie with the Gum Gum fruit. So that's the big reveal for the chapter.
I want to talk specifically the gum, the fruit stuff, because like other, you know, Thomas stuff is
Everything
cool.
else,
The Sanji stuff, that's cool. This part of the chapter got my mind racing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, I know some people who are like don't really delve too deep into One Piece and are more so casual will be like, who cares? But there's huge implications because from jump, Oda has always established the gum fruit as being like this weak ass, who gives a shit fruit, right? Like from what we've seen about how other people interact when they see Luffy with the fruit, it's like, like especially like when Ace and Sabo, when they were kids, they're like, nigga, you just know how to stretch your body, like who cares, right? So like he's always kind of did, it's kind of like a cool little like irony type of thing where like I've been led to believe that like the gum fruit was just like who cares, but Luffy made it work. But I'm not mad at this, because now it's like, what about the gum fruit is so important that the world government was like, nigga, guard this shit. And the fact, and that was like, nigga, you let this shit get stolen, they immediately sent him to Impel Down and removed him from CP9. That has big implications, that there is something. Now I think you hit the nail on the head in the group chat, Chris, as far as like, I kind of like that direction. Like you were saying that like maybe Rocks, or was it Joy Boy, or somebody of importance had the devil. Now this will be, I know we don't like the whole reincarnation thing, but this will be a good loophole, I would say, as far as it's not necessarily reincarnation, but in the context of, say for instance, someone like Joy Boy or Rocks, or some pirate figure that we don't know of, who's OP, who died off, had that fruit, and they were able to do major fucking damage, just go crazy as a pirate. It would make sense that the world government go like, no,
lock that shit up.
No,
lock this shit
absolutely not. In the wrong hands, though this might be a fruit that makes your body be stretchy, you saw what OP ass pirate nigga did in the past with that shit. We can't let nobody fuck around with this shit no more. I would accept that. I would accept that over reincarnation shit, because I think that's a nice loophole of kind of making Luffy feel special as a main character. It slightly takes away from the fact that it's like you had this, you know, weak ass power, like, oh, I can stretch my body, but you made it work. But now we find out that it's tied to something important, so now it's like, but I'm willing to overlook that because I like the implications better.
Yeah,
I think what they did with this chapter, as far as establishing why the gum fruit is very important and Shanks's role, because now it even brings more insight into like Shanks's job. Like, did Shanks know about the origins of the gum fruit and he wanted that for himself? So
I do rock with the the Rocks having the devil fruit makes sense, because Rocks got erased from history, so it would make sense that no one knows what his devil fruit really was, other than like the higher ups. I have another theory. So remember when we found out LHO'S fruit was being brokered, and that was also in a world government deal where they were about to buy it. And the LHO'S devil fruit is OP, but the main thing everybody wants it for is one application, which is the immortal surgery.
Yeah.
So I think that not necessarily a powerful pirate had it, and the fruit itself may not be, you know, crazy, but there's like an application if you awaken it.
Oh yeah, because Luffy hasn't awakened his devil fruit ability yet, right?
Yeah, we only seen like very few, only one awakening, right, or two.
No, we haven't seen him awaken it at all.
No, I mean in
terms of everybody.
We haven't seen like two.
Paramecia, just Dofi and
Katakuri, right?
Yeah,
if you count the zones, the awakened zones and Impel Down, they were awakened.
Oh, okay.
Then, but zones are different. In terms of Paramecia, we only seen two. But this isn't my like main theory. I saw someone say it in the Reddit. If I could find his name, I would shout him out. But he said like, what if this isn't pertaining to the chapter? But he said it a long time ago where like Luffy's fruit is gum, but it's also rubber. Like rubber erases. So what if he could erase?
Oh shit! On some
shit.
I saw that theory.
Yeah,
I saw that theory, and I was like, geez,
on some Chainsaw Man shit. Spoiler alert.
That'd be cold. Like that. I'm leaning towards that because you could keep Luffy's. Making the fruit his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the only way you'd be able to get this ability is if Luffy had like to erase. And remember, the Gorosei was like, "Who do we have to erase from the world?" So it's like. It could fit. Like maybe Luffy has the power to erase or negate something.
Oh my god. And that's how he defeats Kaido. Because Kaido is he has an immortal body and Luffy can just awaken and negate his immortality. Yeah. Oh shit, that could work. I fuck with it.
It could work. I fuck with it too. Him have like it could also be both. Like Rox had it, and that's why Rox was so dangerous. Like so either way, but I feel like it doesn't take away from Luffy's because he just has the fruit. He still has to have like hockey and Conqueror's hockey. You're born with that. That's not something like we can't.
Ooh, hold on. Well, another thing too, since we're talking about erasing shit, maybe what if that was how they were able to erase rocks from history? What if there's like what if there's like some kind of insane drawback or something to abusing the power and it backfired on Rocks and like it killed him off and then that's how they were able to, maybe that's why they know about the devil fruit's ability and they're like, okay, this fruit no one else can have this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's way too dangerous. We don't know, like it's like we can't let anybody have it. And then through pirate grapevines or whatever, Shanks heard about that. And since Shanks wants to be the pirate king, obviously he would want a fruit that powerful. So he was able to he stole that fruit. But then I guess Luffy shenanigans happened, and I guess it was one of those things where like he's like, you know what? As much as I heard about this fruit, it being in Luffy's hands, I don't mind it because he's a kid. He's dumb as fuck. So maybe he won't utilize it or anything like that. So it's one of those things where it was like, but now long term, I feel like if you were to pull up on Red Hair Shanks and you know what I'm saying? They don't let the gum-gums in the dough, bro. Like this nigga Luffy close to activating that shit. What's going on? I need a chapter like how we got in fuck, what was it? The summit, what was the meeting with the kings of the world? The Reverie. I need a Reverie like chapter where I don't know, fucking Exposition Sengoku says something about that because this is the type of shit that gets me like, all right, now I want to see where you lead with this, Oda, because you just don't drop shit like that and then be like, we ain't gonna hear about it for another 50 chapters, bro. Like, come on, I need that shit.
Yeah, we got it. I think we're gonna get it soon. I agree with you, Cam. I think whatever it is that the Gum Gum Fruit can do, Luffy's gonna tap into a little bit of that to beat Kaido. But we could go back. We could go into the adventures of Lose.
Fucking hell, bro. Yeah.
The adventures of
Lose, bro.
So, I will say though, even though I'm trolling Who's Who, that fight is gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah, it's always gonna go crazy with that fight.
Like the choreography was amazing. So I'm gonna skip the gifter shit. Just
once again, we don't care. Tama does great things.
Basically, MVP Tama is carrying the fight. I think it's important to note that the people. Are we going to talk about the CP0 conversation though? Or are we skipping that?
Oh yeah, I'm going to the CP0. Cool. I will just touch on a little bit, like, the Usopp moment was funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
And then Nami being friends with Zeus is cool, and she's broken. That's all I'm gonna say. So we cut over to CP0, and They're saying that the numbers of the Beast Pirate troops have already dwindled from 30,000 to 20,000. If you account for these new defections and casualties, then that means it's currently 16,000 versus 9,000. So we slowly see the odds are kind of evening out. So we're getting towards the climax. Well, I don't think it's going to be a climax. I think some shit will go down where niggas lose.
Kaido. All right, I'm tired of this shit.
Kaido's going to just swing everybody, and then Marine's going to be like, all right, we got to step in.
They don't let the BPs at the door, the Beast Pirates.
Oh, yeah. Big Mom crew got to step in at some point, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, this arc ain't nowhere near finishing if people don't notice.
No.
And I'm all for it. So we get the CP0 niggas sneak dissing Who's Who, saying that the victor of this is no consequence to us. We just need to confirm his death. And
make sure that nigga.
They said, bro, we here to make sure that nigga Who's Who don't say anything untoward.
Exactly.
He said, what?
He's still alive, man. Make sure, hey man, hope he died.
They say he told him what?
And they're like, allowing a rogue to escape alive would be a bad precedent. Well, who's to say he'll even survive? He's facing Jinbei after all. So they knew what was up. So we cut to the fourth floor. Jinbei basically folded Luz crew. And Luz pulls out Moonwalk. How dare you pull out Moonwalk?
I'll say it, dog.
How dare you pull that shit out? You can never use that shit ever again. But Jinbei says, so that means you hold a grudge against Luffy. And Luz says, my real issue is with the one who stole the Goma Goma no Mi fruit, which is red.
This nigga has the biggest and longest pipe dream known to man. If he even thinks he can attempt to try to dream to hang with Shanks.
Look, man, that man took a nigga's arm and told him to skedaddle.
He did
Never forget.
He did take Shanks' arm and said skedaddle. Like, no,
His arm and told that nigga, bye. Get the fuck off.
They gonna take Who's Who to the vet. They gonna declaw that nigga. And they gonna defang that nigga.
That nigga dead, bro. He's de-lifed. That nigga gone, G.
Like, he's not rocking with anybody on that crew. But he pulls out. He had some cold moves though. He pulled out Fang pistol, and it goes through Jinbei's armament hockey a little bit, and then he does like a Gatling version of it. But Jinbei dodges it, like he has a speed feat where he he kind of like teleports out the way.
Yeah.
And it goes through the floor, hitting people below. And Jinbei says, if you had tried to block it, you'd have been eaten alive, which is bullshit. I didn't think slimy fishmen could move that fast on dry land. And that's
but before that, he said that the Luffy shit too. This nigga tried to hang with Luffy, bro. Again, I just want to say that.
Luffy wears the same hat. He said he's the one who gained the power of the fruit. It's only natural for my resentment to be spread towards him.
This nigga has pipe dreams, dog.
Nah, you're
not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Definitely not that guy, bro. And then Luz then starts being racist towards Jinbei.
For no reason. All of a sudden, for no reason, he's like,
yeah.
All right, yeah, you're a fucking disgusting fishman. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, this is wild. So,
yo, that nigga's a proud boy.
He is a proud boy.
Bro literally activated his Karen sales activated. It's just out of nowhere. He's like, bro, this nigga should have died from this attack. Okay, well, let me start blaming it on race.
Exactly. And Jinbei says it's generally no longer acceptable to express such discriminatory views on fishmen. And then he just says, my bad. And then he uses Iron Body, which I guess is confirming that like Rokushiki and Haki are kind of like
similar.
close.
Yeah,
similar, because he says Iron Body, but he's coating his teeth in Haki. And he does Fang Cavalry Flash, which is dope because he has Haki on his teeth. That was a dope clash. But Jinbei uses Fishman Jujutsu and basically judo flips this nigga into the ground.
He big moms him.
He does big mom him. And then Jinbei throws water bullets. Who's Who dodges it, and Then Who's Who drops a bomb saying that while he was in prison, I'll just paraphrase. In prison, he was being
Fishman Allah.
Right. My man
Yeah.
converted to fish Muslim, bro.
converted to
Fishman Muslim.
basically they were torturing him so bad, and the guards was speaking of the sun god, and that was his saving grace while in jail. Which this is a big bomb. We'll talk about this later, but
Yeah, you gotta explain that to me because I was just like,
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
sorry, I
like,
took it as he
This
learned
is-
Fishman Allah.
yeah.
this is really big, and I reread some stuff. I'll send a screenshot in the chat. But this is like this kind of ties to Skype a little bit, but and some other races. But I'll talk about that later. But says there's a legendary warrior that would come and save the slaves basically, and his name is Sun God Nika. And it said that he would bring laughter to their lips and free them from their suffering. Who knows if he existed or not, though. And they says my cruel sentence was dragging on for like what felt whatever, so I clung to that legend. And Jinbei's basically saying, why are you bringing this up to me? And who's like, well, you led the Sun Pirates, and I heard that the crew was made up of former slaves. Besides, isn't the history of fishmen a history of slavery?
just being absolutely racist for no
Super
reason,
racist,
dog.
That's crazy. Jinbei's mad. Jinbei, I feel him.
Yeah.
And so Who's Who pulls out finger pistol, and he does a Gatling version of it and starts poking Jinbei. Jinbei hockeys up his face too. That was dope. And basically Who's Who is speaking more of Nika and asking, Jinbei, does he know more about it? I would love to know or hear about it. Then his finger just breaks.
Hockeyed up finger. Also, iron body and hockey body finger just cracks.
Breaks on impact. Both his fingers break on impact. And Jinbei does another Fishman karate move. But Lose tries to do a kick on him. And Jinbei doesn't even get phased by it.
It literally shows the smoke after
Yeah.
it. It's like, don't give a shit.
nah, bro.
Take the ass.
And
so
at
then
this point, this is the point when I started to lose all respect for Lose, bro. I was just
Yeah.
like, bro, this nigga ass. G, I'm sorry.
Bro, he got folded. Jinbei basically walked this nigga down for the rest of this fight. So then he does his fang pistol, and it hits Jinbei in the face. Doesn't move an inch again. And who's like, why are you so mad all of a sudden? And he tries to run away. Jinbei steps on his tail so he can't get away. And and Jinbei says, if you're going to make broad statements about other people's history, you better not be half-assed about it, and hits him with the gargoyle tile fist straight to the face.
Yo, Oda watched a white racist man get his ass beat by a black man
And
before.
literally replicated the
This is what I'm
fight.
about to do.
Yeah.
This is literally the equivalent of like, this is like the equivalent of like a Karen calling the cops on you and then being mad. Like she's mad. The black guy is literally not even doing anything, and she gets like super mad for no reason. And the black dude's like, nigga, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm literally just I'm out here enjoying. Like, Who's Who is literally like calling the cops on Jinbei, this slimy fucking fishman bastard. Fuck you, all this other shit. He tries to pull up, and Jinbei is just like, all right, bro. Like, he just retaliates. It's like self-defense. Like,
Yeah, basically.
Okay, before we talk about the Sun God stuff, I remember niggas was overhyping Lose. I remember when he first got introduced, niggas was like, this is the son of Kaido, this is Yamato, him and Jinbei got ties, but like overhyping Lose, dog. This is one of those things where I'm glad that the theories didn't come true, because it was something about that nigga's who I just did not, it just didn't rub me the right way. So in the last chapter, when they confirmed that he was like basically bootleg Rob Lucci, I was like, okay, cool, I can rock with this. And then in this chapter, when he got his ass kicked, I was like, all right. It was like good retribution for me, bro. Because I don't know, something about his character, and I just hate how people was hyping him up. I just didn't rock with it. So I'm glad this chapter happened.
People that was hyping him up. But like, I was just hoping
would never.
Rob Lucci took Luffy's Gatling like a G. Like, he took it. and didn't run away. Lose tried to run away from that work.
This nigga wanted to hang with. This nigga wanted to hang with Shanks. Wanted to hang with Luffy.
Nah.
And you can't even phase Jinbei? Not saying that Jinbei's weak, but if you can't even go equally toe to toe with Jinbei, it's like you literally have nothing to go against.
His role
Shanks
was
or Luffy, and then Shanks all the way up here, bro.
Yeah.
This nigga lose role was to literally tell us that the gum fruit has more meaning than we.
Yeah, exactly. That's his whole character, is to tell us that the gum fruit is important, and
and also that Shanks pulled up on him with no fear.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
I would love to see that encounter. Like, did he beat who's ass and that's how he stole it, or did he I feel like he beat his ass and stole the fruit.
People say Lucky Roo handled that nigga because Lucky Roo was because if you go back and read the first chapter, Lucky Roo was pressed that Luffy ate it because they had
yeah. Lucky Roo pulled up with the
the ham house.
Imagine Lucky Roo jumping off the boat like,
hey nigga.
Dog, that's wild. And if he had that L, bro, it is what it is. But damn, bro, that's a sad one.
Pulled off like Mike off the boat and beat that
nigga. He went to jail smelling like ham, bro. That's tough.
That nigga was prime candidate for bitch of the jail, bro, because he smelled like ham. So they was like, bro, up them cheeks, lose. That's probably why they call him Who's Who, because they was trying to determine whose bitch he is. It was like,
that's why you got tatted on his chest.
Gee,
that's tough.
G.
That's tough. But I'll kind of skim over. There's a lot of stuff with the Sun God stuff, but basically each race in One Piece has some tie to the sun. So you have the fishermen with the sun. You have in Elbaf, when they were fasting to the Sun God. I don't know about the Tontatas, but the Skypians also, if you rewatch the Shandorian flashback, Calgaro was sacrificing his daughter to the Sun God. So there's a reoccurring theme with races and the Sun God. And if you rewatch or reread Skypiea, Luffy's pose while he's dancing in the sky, like I sent you guys a screenshot. It's in the same pose as Nika the Sun God. And Nika the Sun God, it has a spirit, so I think it's Skypian related. But yeah, it's just like it's a reoccurring theme. I think it's along with the Joy Boy stuff where maybe Joy Boy.
Because if you look at what Luffy has done throughout the series, it matches the description of what they're talking about. Yeah. As far as like a legendary warrior would eventually come and save them. What has Luffy been doing throughout this entire series besides pulling up on islands and saving people? Especially if you want to count, like it's more specifically what happened within Dressrosa.
Yeah,
like that as a whole, like definitely matches. I think that's a decent, but it's like, what are we trying to say that it implies as far as like the whole Sun God lore that Luffy is?
I have an idea.
The not reincarnation, but like that's the ideal or something. I don't know.
You know, I think this if it goes this way, I think it keeps everything intact. So you know how the D clan, they're called the people of D, the will of D. What is the will of D? Maybe Joy Boy or this Nika Sun God was like the original person, and his will passed on. Like, so the true Ds have this urge to help people. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain Ds have more of that in them than others. So like Luffy and Roger, for an example, because Roger can also hear things like how Luffy can hear things. So it's not just specifically Luffy. There's other Ds that have similar traits that Luffy has. So it's not, I don't think it's a reincarnation thing. I think there's a prerequisite that you have to have. And then while having that prerequisite, having the D blood in you or the will, Like Luffy's the true D. Like he's acting as a true D. He's genuinely fulfilling this role. That's what I'm thinking. Everything's leading towards. Like Joy Boy's will is to be happy, to be free, and make sure you pass that on to other people. I think that's the will of D, to, you know, basically be Christian. You know what I'm saying? You know, be the salt of the earth. Spread.
Yeah. But it's like what? Yeah. What does? That's another thing. Reason why I want to go more into the will of D stuff, because like, what determines it? Like, what determines you getting that name? Like, did Luffy's mom look at him and go like, "You're Monkey D. Luffy"? Like, how did you get that name? Like, what determines it? Is it like fucking? This is obscure reference. It's like the Percy Jackson series, where like you're at a campfire and then one of the Greek gods comes and goes like, "Yep, that's my son. Yep, that's my daughter." Is it like a sea god dragon comes and goes like, "That little nigga is a D"? What did like, or is it just like, you know what I'm saying? I had a wild night. Yeah, you're Monkey D. Luffy.
Maybe. I think it's like a mix of hereditary and like spiritual. Like I think the original people, they all inherit something spiritually or hockey based, and then their descendants have, you know, that passed on to them. So I think it's hereditary now, but it didn't start out that way. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess because it's so like it's like so like did Garp marry a woman who, or had a relationship with a woman who was a D, and then that got Monkey D Dragon? Is Dragon a D?
No, Dragon's a D. I think Garp is a D.
Garp is a D? Okay.
Yeah. So their whole
line is D. Okay.
They already have it's a line of D.
Because Law is the same way, where he said his family told him not to tell people that he had D because it was a secret name for so long. And then Saul Robbins, like giant friend, he said, "Oh, it's been in my family, but I don't know what it means." So I don't think they're all related. I think that there was a group of people, like a nation, and they all, "Hey, you guys are D's," and then moving forward, they passed on that, you know, in spirit thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
I just need more information, because it's just so vague, and it's just like, what determines, like, we see that that's Luffy's characteristics now, but how could they tell that at birth? Like that's how you're gonna.
And Law is also a D, and he can't hear the things that Luffy can hear, and he's not as, you know, joyful as Luffy is. Same thing with Blackbeard and Rocks. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a lot of. I know there's gonna be some crazy, like, cool. Like I know Kingdom Hearts is convoluted, but I think one thing that Kingdom Hearts does that's really interesting, and I like the concept, is like sharing hearts with people.
Oh yeah.
I think like Oda, I know it's corny, but I love it. But like I like that concept.
No, I was just thinking of you mentioned that, and it reminds me of the fuck. This is off brand, and I'll briefly talk about this, because you and Chris, you'll probably never see this, but you should if Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Chris, there's a mobile game called Kingdom Hearts Union Cross that has very important story implications for Kingdom Hearts 3. So whenever Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, or the Yuzura game that people are talking about, you might want to look up some cutscenes for that, or look up some YouTuber talking about it, because the biggest bombshell, I didn't tell you this, DC, I just told you with some bombshells. The biggest bombshell got dropped. So the created character that you create in Union Cross, that created character, the person that you spend, because the game is about to shut down this year, but that person that you created, it was revealed in the finale that person is technically Xehanort.
You created.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is, and I'm gonna briefly. I know. I have to say this, right? Yeah. Basically, when a Keyblade wielder dies, they have two options. One, they pass their heart on to someone else, and they in turn they inherit their heart, and they also have the ability to wield the Keyblade. Or they get reincarnated into, and for all my people who play Dream Drop Distance, they get reincarnated into a Dream Eater. So those things that you fought in that Monsters Inc. world, those are previous. Those are previous. Well, no, those are unversed. But if you played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, those things that you fought in there, those were previous Keyblade wielders.
Damn. I
So
like
fucked
that
up.
though. That's crazy.
It was a big bomb, but the big one was the fact that your created character reincarnated or passed their heart down, and that's technically you were playing the boss the whole time.
I like that. But I like the fact I'm glad you brought that up, because I think the Will of D is something like that, where like the D is like a spiritual hockey thing that gets passed on. And this is another tinfoil thing, but maybe the devil fruits were never a thing back then, but they were created, but because they're not supposed to be created, the C was like, nah, fuck that, you're trying to be like the D's. No, you can't pass on, because devil fruits reincarnate and get passed on. So I don't know, it's crazy, but like Oda's going into places that I'm excited. Like I'm like him. Like you have to let me know. I can't just.
I need to, because it's like really good thing. Because like what you said about like the C and like the Will of D, that could probably be why devil fruit users they don't fuck with water. Yeah, it's a repercussion of, I guess maybe even like you could even say that like the original people who were the Will of D, they naturally had devil fruit like abilities, and maybe in a sense where like when we talk about things like Vegapunk and stuff like that, maybe just maybe it was like a thing of the people on Earth trying to play God in a sense and replicate those abilities, using something like tampering with the Will of D or some spiritual shit, and that's what created that drawback of devil fruits. But you can't go into the sea, and there's a reincarnation thing, like playing with spirits and gods and shit like that. There's like a lot of stuff like that. Because they were
fucking around with it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. I'm taking your abilities away, but the D clan, you guys are cool.
Yeah.
And if you eat a devil fruit, you can't swim. Like you can't swim. Bro, whatever it is, like it's. I know it's gonna go to a spiritual route, but I'm okay with it. It's shown, and they always go that way towards the end. But I always love it when the series goes like crazy, like high proportion towards the end when it makes sense, not in the fucking Naruto. I'm forever on Kishimoto's head side. You didn't have to do that bullshit. But I don't think Oda's gonna do it. I'm not scared about it anymore because Oda always does a twist. So even if it is reincarnation, I have, I'm pretty comfortable that he's gonna do it in an interesting way. And it's not gonna demean Luffy's growth.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's even necessarily, because like with Kingdom Hearts, it's not the way they explain it. It's not reincarnate. They even say like it's not. You yourself are not reincarnating into Xehanort. It's more like your heart is being passed on to him, and that's the reason why he's able to wield the Keyblade, is because of your influence on him. It's the same thing with like Ventus and Sora. Sora was never meant to wield the Keyblade. For those who don't know that, in Kingdom Hearts, Sora was never meant to wield the Keyblade. It was supposed to go to Riku. If you played Birth by Sleep, you'll know why. But as a result of Ventus going into Sora's heart, that's how he unlocked the ability to wield the Keyblade. So it's the same thing. Maybe it's not necessarily reincarnation, but it's that sense of when we talk about the spirit passing down to the Will of D, but it's more so prominent in Luffy because he's the main character, obviously. And that's why he's able to do it. It's not reincarnation, it's just the Will of Fire shit in Naruto, you know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Oh yeah. I forgot the Will of Fire. That bullshit.
That shit never mattered. That's why.
It never existed. Kishimoto's like, "Hey, Oda, you kind of going crazy with that Will of D shit. Let me try something. Will of Fire. Yeah, that sounds right. Never used it. He did it in that one arc where Asuma's homie got smoked, and then
Asuma got smoked.
And we didn't hear nothing about Will of Fire ever since. So bullshit. But that's all my thoughts on the chapter. It's a lot to process just off the one. That's classic One Piece. If you don't know One Piece by now, you get one little panel of dialogue just changes everything. You saw what we did when we discovered the gum shit, bro. Like, like 2 bombshells in a row. Like Oda been snapping. And unfortunately we're on break next week, so gotta wait. But what did you think about it, Chris? Before we hop on Black Clover.
The chapter in itself, like I enjoyed the chapter. I just enjoy seeing lose just take that L, but also, of course, you get world building out of it because hey, this nigga was used to run CP9, so he knows shit.
Yeah,
But also, it's like you are shit. So, and literally, as a person, he is shit.
Lucky Roo pulled up on you, bro. Come on now, G.
Like I said, Lucky Roo pulled up like LeBron getting the block in the finals. It was just like, but yeah, like I appreciate the world building. Of course, Tama is just Oda is showing off with Tama. G. I don't think we've seen this is the helpful person in this arc.
The secondary female character be important. Like if you want to look at it as far as like roles in the actual arc, I feel like Tama is like the best. Maybe you could argue Pudding in certain instances, but like who's the chicken Dressrosa? What's her name? Rebecca fucking sucked. Shirohoshi, I mean, she's important as the ancient weapon, but she fucking sucked. She cried. She fucking cried. That's what she did. And then Vivi
cried.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, if you want to talk about like secondary, important female characters in arc, Tama is the best one.
Tama has literally stepped up to the plate and did helpful things. Like she played her role as the assist. The island's assist person.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
She playing her role perfectly. There's no crying. Well, she's a child, so I expect crying. But she's bucked up and said, "All right, let's do this shit."
Because if this was Rebecca, come on now, G.
Rebecca be crying like on the like.
What the fuck is Rebecca doing with that fucking puny ass sword?
Oh, Pudding was helpful.
But Pudding, because like Pudding can walk up to Kaido and say, "You're my bitch now."
She can just put that Odin fight on loop.
Yeah, like she like Pudding is disgustingly broken. Like Pudding could definitely do something. Shirahoshi is crying, and Kaido's probably gonna be like, "Oh, you an ancient weapon? You mine now."
Easy clap.
Throw her in the cage, man. So yeah, so I overall enjoyed the chapter. Like Jinbei had his moment, which is well deserved. On-screen moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was a good way to just show like, yo, Jinbei is really that fucking nigga.
Showcasing why he's number 4.
Yeah.
And
like you gotta factor in, this man literally escaped Big Mom with no problem. It seems like we see why.
Ain't nobody fucking with him.
Like, hey, so like I've enjoyed the chapter. Like Jinbei's my nigga. He did his thing, and just know, Rob Lucci would never. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. That's my peak. Rob Lucci would never. So if he saw Lucky Roo, he literally going to Tiger Form, probably eating that nigga's ham and then beating his ass into C. Playing it simple.
Lucky Roo probably go.
I ain't gonna say he's gonna fight Shanks.
Lucky Roo go turn Rob Lucci into roast beef. He gonna cook that nigga.
Wait,
iron body. I love me some tender meat.
You gonna see Lucky Roo come out the back of the ship with a mink coat on. With the leather.
Fucking the cap and the fucking bird that he's eating the bird that was on top of Rob Lucci.
Yo, you see that nigga frying the bird? I cry. I will cry.
He walking out like, I worked up a sweat, and then Shanks is like, another one, Lucky Roo. When you gonna let me have some fights? He like, I'm sorry, they all so weak.
I couldn't help it.
But Lucci would never though. G, it is what it is though. But decent chapter though, really decent chapter. Also, I do have a screenshot of the breaks that's about to come with One Piece. So let me pull this up real quick for the people that. They already have it because the Olympics play a huge role in it.
Yeah, I would assume so.
This also goes for My Hero and Black Clover. So
yeah, because doesn't the shonen shit like they got a role in what the Olympics is doing? So that's probably why, right?
Yeah. So of course we're getting 10-18 this week, so there's gonna be a shonen jump. Next week is an Oda break for a reason. Then we get 10-19. Week after that, it's a break by the magazine because the Olympics. We get back-to-back chapters. Then it's for like 2 weeks. Then we get another magazine break, and then we get another chapter after that. So
That's nasty.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a little nasty back and forth. But
we fiending for that One Piece shit, bro. We gonna be fiending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for so Oda is not responsible for only this break this week, upcoming week. After that is because of Shonen Jump. So I'm letting you niggas know. I will repeat it on Black Otakus when the time comes. So hey, it's not Oda's fault. It's not your favorite mangaka's fault. It's because of Shonen Jump and the Tokyo Olympics.
And honestly,
they
they deserve a break, so I ain't gonna be mad at them, bro.
Yeah, so there's more breaks for them niggas. So hey.
It also said that like Oda, one of those chapters that we're getting, Oda doesn't have to doesn't want it to be too
many breaks. Yeah. So hey, man, like it's like me personally, I mean, it sucks. I just go like, hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's not nothing like my life is in shambles because I mean, unless I'm a One Piece content creator and like this should be a wake up sign for you to do some other shit with your life.
And don't fucking give me a power scale and fucking argue up.
But like, it's just stop having these unrealistic fucking like fucking Chinese workshop mentality when it comes to these mangakas, bro. Let these niggas take break, bro. Yo, this show is not that important that like Friday or Sunday, if you read the alleged or the official version, if you ain't getting it, your life is in shambles, bro. It's 19 pages. That's like, realistically speaking, for me, for reading the manga, if I'm not like looking into like deep shit, that's like 5 minutes, bro. You telling me 5 minutes of your life out of an entire fucking rotation of a week is gonna ruin you? Let these niggas take breaks, G.
I want niggas to actually sit down and try and write and draw a 17-page manga thing at high quality. Weekly. I want to see if you could do it.
Revision checks and everything, bro.
Yeah, revision checks and dealing with editors and time constraints and all, in your own creative mind just fucking with you. So it's not easy. I've been trying to do one chapter for like a year. So with life shit, don't
deadlines and shit. Like Oda literally he takes like 2 hours to sleep, bro. Like let this nigga relax, G.
Yeah, let him breathe.
Exactly. Like that means
One Piece ain't that important. I like it, but it ain't that important.
Exactly. I can find something else to read.
Exactly. You catch up with some other shit. So all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this entire. If you stuck around for the entire thing, I highly appreciate it. No Black Clover this week, but you'll get it next week, and trust me, it'll be worth the wait because me and DC, we go ham when it comes to Black Clover. We cap for this shit. Hey, it is what it is. But anyway, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Click on that bell icon that's next to the subscription button to enable post notifications so you guys will be updated on the latest and greatest as far as things on the channel, such as Black Otaku Reviews, Black Otaku Plays, and YouTube Community Videos, various other podcasts that we got for you, Black Otakus of Culture, Threes from the Ring, and Timeless Vibes. Be sure to share this video across multiple social media applications that you guys have available at your disposal so that we can engage with a wider audience. Also, if you need everything as far as social media, links to artists and all that other stuff is in the description box below, so please be sure to check that out. If you're on TV, I don't know why YouTube TV doesn't have the setting that you can check descriptions, but go on your phone real quick because I know you got it next to you or your laptop. Check the description out and check out our social media. Follow us, like us, all that good stuff, guys. And with that being said, stay blessed. Love y'all. John?
Peace out.